Okay, fine. So, good evening. So, we'll start with the expression for maximum work done. Expression for maximum work done. That is W max for given pressure ratio. For a given pressure ratio. At what pressure ratio I will be able to get the maximum work done. So this is the expression which we have to do. So earlier, I think in the very earlier cycles, we used to get the mean effective pressure, but here, so both the constant heat addition as well as heat rejection is taking place at constant pressure. So we are looking at the maximizing the work done. So let us try to write the work done expression. Okay. So the work done is given by, for the Breton cycle, the work done is given by, so W is equal to, that is, if I take M is equal to 1 kg, it is only Cp into T3 minus T2, that is at constant pressure heat addition, minus Cp into heat rejection, that is T4 minus T1. Let me call that as equation number 1. So here if I try to take T3 outside and T4 outside, I can simplify the same expression, equation number 1. So therefore, W is equal to Cp into, if I take T3 outside, this will become 1 minus T2 by T3 minus Cp into, if I take T4 or T1 outside, so this will be T4 by T1 minus T1. Okay. Now let us go back to this particular PV and TS diagram. Okay. Now, for an ideal case, for an ideal Breton cycle, it has been found that T2 and T4, that is, T2 should be equal to T4. That means at the end of the compression, whatever you are going to do, and at the end of the expansion, the temperatures almost should be similar for the, because why this particular thing is there, because to have equal compression and equal expansion, for that condition. So for an ideal case with equal compression and equal expansion, so your T2 should be equal to T4. So this is for an ideal Breton cycle, what is expected. Okay, I will go by this condition and try to modify this particular work done expression. So therefore, let me write that for an ideal case, for an ideal case with equal compression and and expansion. So the condition is your T2 should be equal to T4. Let me call that as equation number 2. So now what I'm going to do, I will try to modify these expressions. Okay, I will try to modify these expressions. So substitute for your T2, I'll substitute for T4. Okay, and T4 I'll substitute for T2. So in this expression, so that therefore my W is equal to Cp into T3 into 1 minus, so in place of T2 I'll put T4. So this will become T2 by T4 by T3 minus Cp into T1 into, so instead of T4 I'll put T2. So T2 by T1 minus 1. So this is how the expression I have. So let me call that as equation number 3. See, if you go back and see what is my pressure ratio, already I have defined pressure ratio as P2 by P1, okay, which is equal to P3 by P4. Now, what is this P2 by P? See, already I have this T3 is equal to T3 by T4 is equal to Rp to the power of gamma minus 1 by gamma. And already I have T2 by T1 is equal to Rp to the power of gamma minus 1 by gamma. So already I have the expressions for T2 by T1 and T3 by T4. So I will try to write these expressions, that is whatever the work done expression, in terms of T2 by T1 and T3 by T4, so that I will able to get the work done expression in terms of pressure ratios. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. So I'll go here and try to modify this. Okay, therefore your W is equal to Cp into T3 into 1 minus 1 by T3 by T4 minus Cp into T1 into T2 by T1 minus 1. So now T3 by T4 I will write it as Rp to the power gamma minus 1, and T2 by T1 also I will write it as Rp to the power gamma minus 1 by gamma. So therefore my work done expression W is equal to Cp into T3 into 1 minus 1 by Rp to the power of gamma minus 1 by gamma minus Cp into T1 into Rp to the power of gamma minus 1 by gamma minus 1. Okay, so this is the expression what I have. Let me call that as equation number 4. So now if you closely look at this particular thing, now if you look at this particular thing, how I can maximize this actually? So if you have the Rp, see, W can be maximized if I'm able to differentiate this particular thing with respect to your pressure ratio and equate it to 0. Okay, to maximize the work done, okay, equation 4 has to be differentiated with respect to pressure ratio and equate to 0. Equate it to 0. If I'm able to do that, then whatever the expression I'm going to get for Rp in terms of something, substitute in my W expression in equation 4, you will get your maximum work done expressions. That's what I'm going to do. So let me write that. That is dW by Rp is equal to 0. This is what I'm going to do actually. To do this, so look at this, there is a gamma minus 1 by gamma. So let me define something, some z or neta or whatever it may be. Let z is equal to gamma minus 1 by gamma. Therefore, equation 4 can be written as, equation 4 can be written as W is equal to Cp into T3 into 1 minus 1 by Rp to the power of Z minus Cp into T1 into Rp to the power of Z minus 1. So this is the expression what I have now. Now what I'm going to do actually, now I will try to differentiate this. That is dW by dRp. That is d by dRp of, so your Cp is constant, I'm just taking it out, it's a constant, so I can write only in terms of temperatures. This will be T3, this will be simply T3 into 1 minus 1 by Rp to the power of Z minus T1 into Rp to the power of Z minus 1 and equate it to 0. So now I am going to differentiate this so that I will get the expression for Rp. So now first differentiation if I do, so it is with respect to Rp-T3, it's 0. Okay, simply if I write it, let me differentiate this. This is T3, this is 0 minus, so Rp to the power of minus Z plus 1. If I take it to the denominator, this will be minus z divided by Rp to the power of z plus 1. Okay, minus T1 into this is z into Rp to the power of z minus 1 minus of 0. Okay, equated to 0. So just simple differentiation, that's it. So therefore this will be T3 into z. So minus into minus will become plus. So T3 into z divided by Rp to the power of z plus 1 minus T1 into z Rp to the power of z minus 1 is equal to 0. So now I LHS RHS I am going to do something. So this will be T3 into z divided by Rp to the power of z plus 1 is equal to T1 into z Rp to the power of z minus 1. So z automatically they cancel out. So this will become T3 by T1 is equal to Rp to the power of, so if I take it z plus 1 to this particular thing, so minus 1 plus 1 will go off, I am left with only 2z. Okay, this is 2z. Okay, or I can write it as Rp is equal to T3 by T1 whole to the power of 1 upon 2z. Or if I substitute for z, what is z actually? It is gamma minus 1 by gamma. Or if I substitute for that, Rp is equal to T3 by T1 whole to the power of, it will be gamma by 2 into gamma minus 1, because your z is equal to gamma minus 1 by gamma. So I am calling this as equation number 5. So this is my equation number. So for a maximum work done, this is the pressure ratio. Now what should I do? I should take this Rp, which is equal to T3 by T1 whole to the power of gamma by 2 into gamma minus 1 in your equation 4. If I try to substitute for this expression Rp in terms of that particular temperature, and whatever I am going to get, that is the maximum work done. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. So substitute for Rp, substitute for the pressure ratio Rp in equation 4. Equation 4 to get. So what I'm going to get actually, it will be W max. So W max, that is the maximum work done, is equal to Cp into T3 into 1 minus 1 by, what is Rp? Rp I'll put it in terms of temperature, that is T3 by T1 whole to the power of gamma by 2 into gamma minus 1. Okay, and already I have gamma minus 1 by gamma there, because Rp to the power of, okay, Rp to the power of gamma minus 1 by gamma minus Cp into, okay, you have T1. So Cp into equation number 4, no? Cp into, yeah, it is T1. Okay, Cp into T1 into T2 by T1, that is your Rp. That is Rp is nothing but T3 by T1, T3 by T1 whole to the power of gamma by 2 into gamma minus 1, okay, to the power of, it is gamma minus 1 by gamma minus 1. So this is the expression for your W max. So simplification, see, you look at this, if you look at this, gamma minus 1 just simply go off. So I am left with only your W max is equal to, it will be only Cp into T3 into 1 minus 1 by T3 by T1 whole to the power of half, okay, whole to the power of half minus Cp into T1 into T3 by T1 whole to the power of half minus 1. So this, if I call this, is the equation number 6. So equation number 6 is the expression for maximum work done for a given pressure ratio where your Rp is equal to T3 by T1 whole to the power of gamma by 2 to the power of gamma minus 1. So that is the relationship between your pressure ratio and temperature. Substitute in my work done equation and you got the expression for maximum work done. So this is the thing what we have to derive for the expression for the work done expression for your maximum pressure ratio or for a given pressure ratio maximum work done. So with that, we have come to the end of all the mathematical expressions for all the 4 different cycles. Okay, now let us try to look into some numericals. Okay, so I have prepared a tutorial sheet. So let me look into that tutorial sheet. So this is the gas power cycles, some unsolved numericals what I have put actually. Okay, so or maybe around 25 to 30 numericals are there. Yeah, I think around 32. Yeah, 32 numericals are there. So we'll try to take couple of numericals. Maybe I'll try to solve few numericals today and Monday. Then I will take one extra class on one of the Sunday to solve some more extra numericals on this gas power cycles. Because regular class I want to continue with Tuesday, I want to continue with your IC engines. So let the regular class go with the regular unit 2 and all. Maybe extra classes I will take to solve some extra numericals. That's how we can maintain some time actually. Now let us try to take up the first numerical. Now, see, as I have been teaching this thermodynamics course for the past more than 10 to 12 years, so I have found some very simple techniques where it will be easy for you to solve the numericals, where I have seen students struggling in solving the numericals in applied thermodynamics. So I have found that particular technique, and this technique is not mine actually. So I have improved upon what I have learned from one of the professors, who you might be all knowing, T.N. Sitaram, who has been teaching this thermodynamics course, I think for the past more than 30 to 40 years. So I have learned this technique from him and improved upon it, and I am trying to use it actually. And even I got a good response from my earlier students also. Your previous my seniors also, they told this technique they found it to be very useful. So I will try to use that particular technique in solving this numerical. Okay, let's take the first example, numerical. If with the numerical example itself, I'll try to teach you the technique. Okay, so the problem statement is something like this. A spark ignition engine. Spark ignition engine means it's a engine working on Otto cycle. A spark ignition engine with a compression ratio of 8 operates on an Otto cycle using air with a low temperature of 288.7 degree Kelvin and a low pressure of 1.0132 bar. If the energy addition during the combustion is 1850 kilojoules per kg, determine the work output and maximum pressure. Okay, this is the problem statement. So I have taken this problem statement to my right pad. I have copied here. So I will try to solve it. Okay. Okay. So before solving any numericals and all, so you should able to draw the PV and TS diagram. Okay, that's the first thing you people should be able to draw it actually. So if I try to draw the PV diagram for it, the PV diagram for the Otto cycle is something like this. This is my PV diagram, pressure volume diagram, and at the same time at the bottom I will be having the TS diagram also. Here I'll put the TS diagram. So this is my temperature entropy diagram, and PV diagram. So this what type of cycle it is? It's a constant volume heat addition and constant volume heat rejection. So my first point is somewhere I'm trying to compress from this particular point. So I'll be moving from 1 to 2. So this is a compression 1 to 2. Then 2 to 3 is constant volume heat addition 2 to 3. Then 3 to 4 it is expansion. Okay, 3 to 4 it's an expansion process. Three to 4 is an expansion process. Then 4 to 1 is constant volume heat rejection. Constant volume heat rejection is a vertical heat. So this is my PV diagram for a Otto cycle. So similarly, I can have the TS diagram. So you have to, before solving any problem, you should be able to have this. So 1 to 2 is the isentropic compression. Then 2 to 3, it is constant volume heat addition. Then 3 to 4 is so constant volume heat rejection. Sorry, expansion. So 3 to 4 is the expansion process. Then 4 to 1 is constant volume heat rejection. So this is how you are. So this is I am having heat addition. This is heat rejection. This is heat rejection Q1. Okay, this is isentropic compression. This is isentropic expansion. So this is how your PV and TS diagram. Now, if you closely observe, as I told, how many thermodynamic processes are there? There are 4 different processes. 1 to 2 isentropic compression, 2 to 3 constant volume heat addition, 3 to 4 is constant isentropic expansion, then 4 to 1 is constant volume heat rejection. So 4 different thermodynamic processes are there. So maybe I can go and solve this particular thing putting a simple blocks actually and try to calculate all the values around that particular point, and easily it will be you will be able to solve this numerical. Okay, so let me try to put some blocks actually. Okay, so before that let's put the blocks. So the 4 blocks are something like this. So this is the block what I am putting. This 4 blocks I am putting. I am putting this particular thing. One more here. One more here. One more here. Okay, 4 different points I have put it. Now, let me name this actually. If I call this as point 1, that is thermodynamic state point 1, this is state 2, this is state 3, this is thermodynamic state point 4. So I am going to join this actually. So 1 to 2, it's a simple vertical line. Okay, you can show the arrow graph. What is it actually? It is isentropic compression. Okay, then 2 to 3, can show it. Okay, 2 to 3 it is the process is constant volume process. That is heat addition process. Then 3 to 4, it is once again isentropic expansion process. Then 4 to 1. Okay, 4 to 1, it is once again it's constant volume heat rejection process. So now we'll try to write what are the points which is given here. So this being a compression, see this being a spark ignition, this thing. So they are given the compression ratio as 8. So what is the general data? I will write it at the center. Okay, RC is equal to 8, that is compression ratio. And they are given that with a low temperature of 288.7 and a low pressure of 1.0132 per bar. What is low temperature and low pressure? That is at the point 1. Okay, at the point 1, they are given it is T1 is equal to 288.7 Kelvin and the pressure is 1.013 bar. Okay, and they are given if the energy addition during the combustion process, what is the energy addition at the combustion process between 2 and 3? So at this particular point, so that is QH, they are given it as 1850 kilojoules per kg. So they are given 1850 kilojoules per kg as the heat addition process. Now, what we have to do, we are supposed to find the other points. Other points. What are these actually? Say I don't know the value of V1 here. At each and every point, you can, if you start filling these blocks, you will get the properties. See P1, V1, T1 at point 1, P2, V2, T2 at point 2, P3, V3, T3 at point 3, and if possible, you can fulfill it. So each block, if you are able to fill, it will be easy for you to find all the other points what is required for you. And what I'm supposed to find here, I'm supposed to find the work output and the maximum pressure. What is the maximum pressure here? The maximum pressure is P3. So I need to find what is I'm supposed to find. I need to find the work done W and the maximum pressure P3. So this is what I'm going to do. So you have to fill this particular block here. P3, if you're able to fill this block, this particular block with P3, P3 and V3, so you are done with your thing. Okay, so that's how it's easy for us to, so there won't be any confusion at all. There won't be any confusion. So one thing is you have to make it a practice. Whenever we try to solve this on either Otto cycle or diesel cycle or dual combustion cycle, try to put this particular salient points and try to calculate and put the values over there. So it will be easy for you. Okay. Now let us try to solve this numerical. Okay. The thermal efficiency for Otto cycle is given by, see, the thermal efficiency for this Otto cycle. Thermal efficiency is given by, what is the formula actually? Thermal efficiency is equal to 1 minus 1 by RC to the power of gamma minus 1. So it's equal to 1 minus 1 by 8 to the power of 1.4 minus 1, because here is the working substance. If I try to put it in the calculator, so I'm getting around 56.47% or 0.5647. Okay. Also, your thermal efficiency is also given by work done by heat supplied or heat addition, that is QH. Okay. Then therefore your W is equal to your thermal efficiency into heat supplied. So just now we found thermal efficiency is 0.5647. So it is 0.5647 into what is the heat supplied? They are given it as 1850, 1850. So therefore your W is equal to 1044 kilojoules per kg. So I got my W as 1044 kilojoules per kg. Okay. Now what I need to find? I need to find V1, all those things and all. So we know from the characteristic gas equation. From the characteristic gas equation. From the characteristic gas equation. Okay. We have P1, V1 is equal to RT1, or I can write V1 is equal to R into T1 by T1. So what is the value of R for a air actually? R is equal to 287 joules per kg degree Kelvin, or 0.287 kilojoules per kg degree Kelvin. So let me substitute that. So V1 is equal to 287, okay, into your temperature is 288.7, so divided by your pressure, which is 1.013 into 10 to the power of 5. So therefore V1 is equal to 0.81 meter cube per kg. Okay. Now, what is your compression ratio? So I got the value of V1, which is 0.81. So let me put it over here. So 0.1 is equal to V1 is equal to 0.81 meter cube per kg. So how to find V2? So we know compression ratio. So compression ratio. So the compression ratio RC is equal to V1 by V2. So therefore, your V2 is equal to V1 by RC. V1 is 0.81 divided by RC is 8. So 0.81 by 8, it is actually 0.1 meter cube per kg. So I got my V2 as 0.1 meter cube per kg. Just I will go here and fill this block. 0.1 meter cube per kg. Okay. Now I need to find P2 and I need to find P2. So to do that, so we'll consider the isentropic process. For the isentropic process 1, 2, for the isentropic process 1 to 2, okay, P2 by P1 is equal to V1 by V2 whole to the power of gamma minus 1, or this is RC to the power of gamma minus 1. Just now I know T1. So therefore, your T2 is equal to T1 into RC to the power of gamma minus 1, or your T2 is equal to 288.7 into 8 to the power of 1.4 minus 1. I'll end up with my T2 value, which is 663.25 Kelvin. So that's how you can find the corresponding T2. So let me go and fill this thing. Every time, whatever the thing you get it over here, no, you fill it actually. So this is V2, this is your T2. So T2 is equal to 663.25 Kelvin. Okay. Now, what is my heat supplied? See, heat supplied QH is equal to, so any of mass is 1 kg. This is CV into T3 minus T2. Okay. What is QH actually? It is 1850 into 10 to the power of 3. So your CV is 0.72 or 0.718 kilojoules per kg degree Kelvin. So CV is equal to 0.718 kilojoules per kg degree Kelvin. So this is the value for the air into your T3 minus your T2. Just now we found it is 663.25. If I substitute, I will get my T3 as 3041 Kelvin. Okay, just I will go here and fill this block. So T3 is equal to 3041 Kelvin. Okay. Now next what I need to find? I need to find the P3. P3 is the ultimate thing what we are supposed to find. So for that, say from the same characteristic gas equation, so we have P3 V3 is equal to R P3, or your P3 is equal to R into T3 by your V3. So what is your R? It is 0.287 kilojoules per kg degree Kelvin, or 287 joules per kg degree Kelvin, into your T3 is 3241 divided by your V3, which was found to be 0.1. See, V3 is equal to V2. See, V3 is equal to V2 because of the constant process, 0.1 meter cube per kg. That also we can write. So your P3, if I try to put it, I am getting 93 into 10 to the power of 5 Newton per meter square, or 93 bar. Just I will go and put it over here. P3 is equal to 93 bar or 93 bar. So this is how you can solve the problem statement. Okay, whatever the problem statement they are given, they have asked us to find the